Are you scared of more things to come from the Supreme Court, especially since there's also the question on the disbarment, ma'am, that the majority decision said that you can be disbarred.
The important thing to remember is always to do what is right, regardless of the consequences or the odds. You stand for what is right, and you will be sure that there will be vindication in the end. So, because of that assured vindication, no, fear is not a factor.
You're not afraid.
I have to just do what I must do.
Okay. Then there's also the alleged liability when it comes to your SAL-ends, ma'am. Justice Carpio dissented, but he said that it's possible that you may be prosecuted with that, ma'am. Your thoughts on this, ma'am?
Look, the trial, the hearing that was held in the Supreme Court was not a trial type hearing. No, so it was an interpellatory question where the basic premises were not carefully laid down. I'm not too terribly worried about that.
Okay, ma'am. And then there's also the pending administrative cases with Brenda Joy Mendoza and Ellen Macasait. Are you confident about these cases?
Those cases will have to be decided in accordance with what's right. The appointment of BJ Angeles was signed by the three most senior officials of the judiciary, and they are authorized to sign such kinds of appointments. Now, with respect to Helen Macasayat, everything is above board. She was given a fee that was very, very much below market rates and below the kind of services that she had rendered. So there's nothing to be afraid of. My conscience is perfectly clear.
Okay, ma'am. Quite a materialistic question, ma'am. Since you've been ousted, ma'am, from the Supreme Court, what will happen to your SC properties, SC resources that are devoted to you? Is your car going to be returned?
Of course, of course. All the resources will have to be returned.
Right now, ma'am,
That's
are there
given.
things that you still possess that are SC resources?
Yes, there is always a proper turnover. It's not as if the moment that you are asked to vacate your office, in that instant, it is possible. No, we know how life goes. There is a process.
Have you already been given a deadline when it comes to this turnover, ma'am?
No, I have not received anything yet, but I will attend to this forthwith.
Okay, ma'am. Now, my next question is on the SC employees, ma'am. They rallied against you, not all of them, but as you mentioned, some of them.
Yeah.
But leading them for 5 years and getting this sentiment from some of them, did this hurt you?
You know, I know exactly who led the rally. I know it was Midas Marquez. And these people have been with him for a long time. And contrary to my request that they do not, and even my supporters should not join any statement, even supportive of me, I was disappointed because they were used, unfortunately. No, I know who these are, and it is clear in my mind why they did it. So, not a problem, because on the other hand, I received so many statements of support. And remember, so many judges and even employees associations said that they are not going to participate in the call for resignation. Considering the kind of public, propaganda machinery that was set against me, wow, that was a strong, until now, I received strong statements of affirmation from them. So I know the truth, so it's not a problem for me.
So how do you see these employees, ma'am, that rallied against you or demonstrated against you? They were used? Nauto ba sila, ma'am? Parang ganun ba?
Alam mo, wag natin sigurong gamitin yung nauto, no? Self-interest is there. Barkadahan is there.
Loyalty.
Factionalism is there. On the other hand, I wasn't voicing my opinion on anything because I was really hoping for the Senate trial to come about. So I just wish them well, and I wish that for those who are well-intentioned, that the reforms continue, because I guess they have a lot of problems to address.
So there's disappointment, but really there's no personal pain.
I'm not giving too much attention to that right now. If you listen to the situation of the woman who just spoke and whose son was killed, what is their complaint compared to her situation? And remember, they were never able to say anything negative about me. In fact, if you remember their statement, which they read, "We love you, Chief Justice. You have already done so much. It is time now to rest." So they're contradicting their own statements. Obviously, the only intention was for me to leave. Without reason? Yes. But, so yung tinatanong mo, nauto ba sila? I leave that for the public to address.
Okay, ma'am. Another point of tension is from observers is you and Justice Marvic Leonen, ma'am. You were companions even back in UP days, but he also wrote scathing opinion when it came to the co-warrant. He said that your leadership was also you supposedly failed to show leadership in the entire episode, ma'am. How do
You
think
know,
about
I wanted the Senate trial. So those theories could have been tested. It is just a theory, remember.
this? So, ma'am, is that right to ask? How is your dynamics now with Justice Leonen?
Well, I haven't seen him for a long time, so I'm not thinking much about that.
Okay, ma'am. Would you have done anything differently
No.
from all of this?
No, because what I wanted to present to the Senate trial really was a leadership that wanted to go really by a professional code of what it meant to be responsible for especially the funds. That would all have come out. I wanted the people to judge me. Is she a servant leader or not? Is she just doing things for her own self, or is she doing it for a larger cause? Those would have been questions that would have come out. I would have wanted the people to tell me what they thought I did.
Yes, ma'am. The Senate trial is a big what if.
Yes.
But have you ever thought and asked yourself, nagkulang ba ako? Is there anything that we lack in pushing for this outcome to actually happen?
You cannot control all the variables in life. The only thing you can control is what you do. Did you do your best? And that's enough already. If you keep on backtracking and second guessing yourself, you will never be able to have peace. As long as you have a good conscience, you did your best according to your best lights, that should be enough.
Okay,
And the confirmation is the peace that I have. It's very deep, and I think that's a great deal already.
Okay, ma'am. Now that you're outside the SC, ma'am, is it alright that we ask what could have been your decisions had you stayed? For example, a big case is the war on drugs, the campaign against illegal drugs, the petition.
No, I cannot say that because I never got to read the pleadings after I left, so there was never any chance for me.
When it comes to the pleadings, but you were part of the oral arguments, ma'am, no?
During the oral arguments, but I don't know what they submitted.
That they submitted. You
Yeah.
weren't giving
I don't
that.
know their justification for delay.
Okay, ma'am.
I don't know that. I don't know what security matters they were raising. I don't know that.
What, out of curiosity lang, ma'am, what's the last decision that you were involved in?
I can't even remember at this point. You asked me something I can't remember at this point.
Ma'am, you have said that the Supreme Court ruling to have you removed through quo warranto is a blatant violation of the rule of law. Given this, ma'am, how do you still regard the High Court? Do you still respect the Supreme Court?
Well, that question is a question everyone must ask himself, no? I think obviously something very strange happened. People are unable to accept it. But I have now moved to the next phase of my life, which is being a voice for those who want to be heard. So allow me to not answer that question directly. Let me just say that there are larger issues now that we must face.
Okay, ma'am. Moving on to that, ma'am, you don't seem to be keen on pursuing a political career, but you said that you want to be a voice that must be heard. With this, ma'am, what would we expect from you for the next few months or after this ruling?
Now, out of respect for all those who are still pushing me to consider a run in the Senate, I have actually asked them to continue thinking about things on their own, but without me having to focus my attention on a political run. Now, my key priority is really the movement, where people are able to articulate their concerns about where the country is heading towards. Basically, there is no framework. People are saying there is no direction. And the reason why I had to speak about Jose Rizal is because it is clear that the level of discourse and the level of ambition for our people have sunk so low. We should elevate that and dream again of big dreams for our people. So that will require a lot of time on my part. So the next 2 months will be devoted to that. Nevertheless, those who are thinking of encouraging me about a political run, they will be listened to as well, but not with the same kind of attention I am giving to really discussing with people the issues that our country is facing.
Okay, ma'am. 2 follow-up questions regarding that, ma'am. So you're not really completely shutting off the door?
No,
when it
no,
comes-
I'm not. In fact, I have already announced that at the appropriate time, there will be an explanation or a statement to be made by the public whether I will pursue a run or not.
In the 2 months that you mentioned, ma'am, what will you do exactly? Are you
Right
going to
now,
speak?
yeah, there are so many speaking engagements that are already lined up. There are many consultation meetings that have been lined up. A lot of people want to talk to me. So I am here in a listening mode. And when I see that the issues have crystallized enough so that I bring it before the public, then I should bring it and ask for the system of accountability to work.
Aside from speaking, ma'am, lawyering, are there clients
No,
that you look
that part not yet.
Not yet, you're still
No,
thinking
no,
about
no.
it.
That's not in the immediate future.
That's all of the questions, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank you
very,
very
much.
much for
Thank
this
you.
interview with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.